According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
You're hot.
Welcome, welcome, come one, come all, to the Fifth Street Soccer Extravaganza. My name is Andrew Gieber, filling in for Nick Gieber, believe it or not. We are related. And Nick Webster, who may join a little later on in the broadcast. Welcome to Fifth Street Soccer here on Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio, iHeart, TuneIn. We're streaming live to YouTube, Twitch.tv right now, Facebook Live. You can find us on the web at www.fifthstreetsports.com. You get it. We're here. We're on the web. We're on the radio. And, well, thank you for joining me here today. Today on Fifth Street Soccer, we're going to discuss maybe some tactics, how the shift in tactics leading up today may create an environment for some new groundbreaking things in the world of soccer, at least on the technical side. We're also going to talk about the Premier League. We're going to look at a little preview here, look at the odds for some of the teams, at least through a few websites, some of the odds to see who's, an early pick to potentially win that trophy, at least the league trophy. We're also going to look at a little bit of news around the globe. Maybe talk a little bit about the ICC. I know Nick previously spoke about it. I have a little bit of a different take on it. And the MLS, we don't talk about it much here, but there's a little bit of news there to bring up. I hope you'll stay with me the whole hour here today. And once again, we're on Facebook, facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk. We're on Twitter at Fifth Street Sports. We are also on the web, like I said, www.fifthstreetsports.com. And anywhere else on the internet, you can find us. Once again, my name is Andrew Gieber. I'm here. If you want to call, you can call us at 1-800-878-PLAY, I believe. 1-800-878-PLAY. And I'm more than glad to listen to any thoughts, comments, concerns. I know Nick's not here, but believe me, I'll do my absolute best to help you folks out, at least in the soccer world. Anyway, that'll do it for this intro segment here, and I'll be right back with some tactics. You are listening to Fifth Street Soccer.
When working at a growing business,
All right, you're clear.
the new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat, you can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. so you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
I noticed my neighbor place a broken lawn chair by his curb. Naturally, I repaired it on the spot using JB Weld Original Cold Weld Formula epoxy, then took off my shirt and laid down to enjoy the sun. When the family came home and saw a guy sunning himself on their lawn, they yelled, "Hey you, get out of our yard!" But I know their hearts were yelling, "We were idiots for throwing that lawn chair away. Thanks for teaching us about conservation." Don't toss it, JB Weld it.
And we are back. Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio, YouTube, iHeart, TuneIn. We're everywhere, folks. So, my name is Andrew Gieber, and for this first segment here, we're going to talk about how tactics have shifted these past, 5, 10 years, 15 years, into what it is today and where things might go. As I'm sure most soccer fans know, tiki-taka really took over, not too long ago. It's just until recently, barring, obviously the World Cup, but even a little bit before that we've seen kind of a shift away from this heavily possession-based style of play. Now, whether or not you find a more direct style unsavory, uninteresting, unimaginative, it is kind of here to stay. What I think what a lot of these managers have learned through the years is that tiki-taka's unrelenting press really kept teams on their toes, right? Barcelona, specifically under Pep Guardiola, in their real heyday, really kept teams on their toes when it came to possession. Yes, Barcelona could hold onto the ball, and they'd lull teams to sleep, and then Messi, with some flash of brilliance, would put the ball in the net. But I think what managers took from that was the press. Immediately upon loss of possession, they would immediately counter-press, try and win the ball back, and push forward from there. Today we see a slightly different game. It's not as possession-oriented. Definitely, how should I say? Definitely not as beautiful as lovers of the Spanish game might see it. But what does that mean now? What does that mean for the state of the game? Well, heavy metal football, as we like to call it, has really started to take over. And to a certain degree, that, it's fun to watch, at least for a Liverpool fan like myself. It's definitely fun to watch. But I think what we gain from that is that games now are more volatile than I think they have been before. And I think that also moves into the betting realm. When you have two teams that don't necessarily focus solely on possession, the focus on winning the ball in an advanced position, trying to counterattack and get a goal, that, believe it or not, folks, will shift, the way results happen, the way things hash out. Now, is that saying that possession football is gone? No way. Is that saying that the game is, never going to change again? No, absolutely. That's not, the game will always change. But when you're looking to place your bet, somebody that is coming from somebody that is as interested in the tactics and the shape and how players play off the ball, somebody as interested in that as me is hoping that you, as somebody that might be interested in placing a bet here in the next few weeks on the Premier League, which we'll get into a little bit in the next segment, maybe even before that, I'm hoping that you maybe do a little bit of homework, maybe hop on the internet, maybe go on a couple forums, maybe even watch some play from last season. Watch how these teams play. Look at the kind of runs and the kind of shape that these teams maintain when they're off the ball. And try and see which teams are more consistent in both the execution of their tactics and the overall volatility of play. Liverpool, a perfect example of this. Yes, they play heavy metal football, so that the emphasis on that is to win the ball high up the pitch, high up the field, and counterattack from there. Keeping the ball in the center of midfield or in the back line isn't necessarily the real emphasis there. But, when Liverpool held the ball in the back, they were definitely likely to concede. Dejan Lovren, who came off of a relatively decent World Cup, going to the final, relatively decent. Dejan Lovren, Joan Matip, I believe that's his first name. I could be wrong. When they were on the ball, Liverpool were definitely keen to concede. So what I'm trying to get out to you folks out there in the ether, the radio world, internet land, if you're going to bet on soccer, try and look at the tactics a little bit more. Might help you out, might do you some good. And hey, you might find a new appreciation for how the game is played. Moving on. MLS. Now, I know conversation on the MLS here on Fifth Street Soccer has been not really the focus, if I'm being nice. And, it's not necessarily the kind of league you'd want to bet on. The Premier League is much more interesting to a certain degree. It's a higher quality, yada, yada, yada. But just recently, Bayern Munich made a huge MLS record transfer, believe it or not, for $13.5 million for Alphonso Davies, a 17-year-old Canadian that played for the Vancouver Whitecaps. So now, if you're not necessarily interested in the MLS, I'm not going to blame you. But I think this says something very important about what is happening at the developmental level in the MLS. It's not every day that we see a youngster from an MLS club get picked up for, £13 million, or $13 million, excuse me. And I think what this says, more than anything, is that development, at least in the MLS, not necessarily just the United States, but North America as a whole, considering he's Canadian, has definitely been improving. We instituted the academies in, I think it was 2009, 2010, the developmental academies. For those that don't know, it's essentially a youth academy, mostly done by MLS teams. There are some independent ones. the emphasis on it was to kind of emulate the European academies. Now, some of them do it better than others. There have definitely been some growing pains along the way, but there's definitely something to be said when we have a 17-year-old kid playing for the Vancouver Whitecaps getting bought by Bayern Munich for $13 million. Now, that's not necessarily the first time it's ever happened. Josie Altidore went to, I believe it was Villarreal. That was the previous transfer record. But, this is an academy product here. I want to say this is a kid that went through the Whitecaps Academy and was signed as a homegrown player. There's something about the system that is starting to work. We are starting to see the quality in MLS rise. Now, I myself have been watching the Galaxy for, since my younger days, growing up in Los Angeles, and having since been more interested in LAFC for my own personal reasons. But the quality of the games in MLS from then till now has obviously gotten better. But we're seeing now the youth, the young players getting signed through the academies, actually making an impact. And they've been making an impact for the past few years, just not necessarily on this scale. And I know a transfer doesn't necessarily mean everything. It doesn't necessarily mean that Alphonso Davies is going to go straight to superstardom. But, we need that. We need Christian Pulisic. We need Alphonso Davies. We need guys to be signed from the MLS. We need Americans to go abroad, play in the top leagues. That's always been there, but I think this is a step in the right direction. That's it for the first segment there. Wow, that went by a lot quicker than I thought it would. Hopefully it was relatively informative. My name's Andrew Gieber. You're listening to Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio, iHeart, TuneIn, YouTube, Facebook. Visit us on the web, www.fifthstreetsports.com, and we will be right back.
You're clear.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down, 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
Are you an inventor who would like to try to have an invention or idea patented and submitted to companies? But you don't know what to do next? Call for free information from InventHelp. InventHelp, a leading inventor service company, has been helping inventors since 1984 and has sales offices located in more than 60 cities nationwide. You'll want to talk to the company that has helped secure more than 7,000 invention patents. So call InventHelp. Even if you have an idea for improving an existing product and don't know where to go with it, you'll still want to call InventHelp for free information. You'll find out how InventHelp may assist you in trying to patent your invention and submit it to companies. So call now.
Call InventHelp at 1-800-316-1738. That's 1-800-316-1738. Get your free information by dialing 1-800-316-1738. That's 1-800-316-1738. 1-800-316-1738.
And we're back. Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline SB Nation Radio, youtube.com/Fifth Street Sports, facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk. My name is Andrew Gieber, and I am here to blabber in your ear, whether it be on the radio or through a live stream. Come watch us on YouTube. Come watch us on Facebook. If you're not doing anything, maybe need something to look at. I promise you, I don't look that bad. Come call me. Call us. I want to hear what you have to say. 1-800-878-PLAY. 1-800-878-PLAY. I want to hear your thoughts on anything soccer related. I mean, whether it be the tactics, where they're going, the MLS. I'd love to talk to anybody about the MLS if you're out there. The big transfer, Alphonso Davies going to Bayern Munich for $13.5 million. Until then, we're going to talk about the International Champions Cup. Now, believe me, I agree with Nick and Nick's evaluation of the value for dollar. I don't see the value in going and watching a training game. The intensity is not going to be the same. The passion isn't going to be the same. Honestly, to a certain degree, I don't think the tactics are going to be the same. Obviously, each manager is going to be trying something different, playing players in different positions. I mean, you get that with any league ever, or any competitive soccer league. Believe me. When I was playing college, it's the same thing. Preseason never was the exact to a T preparation preview. It was the preparation. It wasn't the preview for what our season would be, right? And look, if you want to dress up in the kit, you want to wear the scarf, you want to go out, you want to sing the songs as best as you can with as many people as will do it, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. If you want to put your dollars there, that's totally fine. Totally fine. I mean, a couple years ago, I went and saw Liverpool play Chelsea. I was invited to go by a friend of mine at the Rose Bowl shortly after the purchase of Sadio Mane. And I'll tell you right now, there wasn't much to really get from it outside of Sadio Mane being relatively brilliant, Philippe Coutinho being relatively brilliant. But what I do want to talk about, just give you a couple of the results. There's some games today. Juventus is playing Bayern. Dortmund is playing Benfica. City is playing Liverpool. Should be at least an interesting game if you're going to go. Probably better to watch it if we're going with the value for dollar bargain here, or value for dollar doctrine here. Roma is playing Tottenham Hotspur. And AC Milan is playing Manchester United. Few games today, not much to really look at. I mean, look, like I said, I don't think there's much value for dollar if you want to go. But if you want to watch these games, see what you can pick from it, go ahead. Bayern beat PSG 3-1 a few days ago. Dortmund has beat both Liverpool and City. Now, look, like I said, I really don't think these games are much of a preview for the season coming, but I have to ask the question, is there anything we can take from these games? I'm sure some of you out there may be asking, if you're saying, there's nothing to really see, there's no point in paying the money, and, there's nothing to really, watch to a certain degree, then surely there's nothing to gain, to learn from these games. Now, I don't think there's a lot to really learn from these games. But I will say I think there are some things to keep an eye on. Most importantly, I think, is players. Now, I mentioned a little bit earlier that I went and saw Sadio Mane play for Liverpool, a few years ago at the Rose Bowl. And I'll tell you right now, that was one of the things that really stuck with me. Just watching him play, how he fit within the team, chemistry-wise. It's definitely important. I think watching these games, for whatever entertainment value you may put on it, there is something to learn from it, and that is most definitely, in my opinion, I don't know if Nick and Nick will agree, but in my opinion, it's seeing how these players fit within the lineup, fit within the team overall. Watch how comfortable they feel around their teammates, if they receive the ball a lot. These little things, I definitely think it's important to just pay a little bit more attention there. Do I think this has any effect on the betting world? Not necessarily. I think, a lot of what I've been saying has already been mirrored by Nick and Nick, but I do want to make the point that looking at the way these players fit within their lineup, fit within the kind of system here, especially if it's a manager that's been there for a while. I'm going to use Liverpool as another example here just because I'm a fan. I've watched them for a long time. Klopp's been there for a couple years. He's been able to really enact his own system and really, teach and bring in his players. Not only is he able to teach players the system that were already at the club, but he's also bringing in players that he thinks would fit in, obviously. But seeing how these players fit within the system, a perfect example, Andy Carroll never fit within the system whenever he came and played for Brendan Rodgers, I believe. Or when he came and Brendan Rodgers, they were there at the same time. You get my point. It's important to look at these players, how they fit within the system, how they fit within the overall team structure. Now, you can't tell everything just by watching one game, but I think there are little nuggets here and there that you can see and you can find. So take from that what you will. I don't necessarily think the ICC is complete. It is something you should completely avoid at all costs. Look, if you think it's interesting to watch and you want to go, go. That's your money. I'm not going to spend the money to go. Unless I'm invited, I'll go for free. But it's important to at least pay attention, I think, to the players. Believe it or not, it's a huge part of the game at every competitive level. How the teams fit together, how they play together, if they even like each other. But moving on, considering there's not a lot to see right now in the ICC, we're going to move a little bit forward here, just a little bit of a preview here, looking at some of the proposed winners of the English Premier League, the Premier League. It's not the English Premier League anymore. After doing a little bit of browsing, some of the bookies have Manchester City in first. I need to get the odds, but I believe it was, I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. Liverpool taking second spot. I believe they were 9-2 to win. Of course, I remember that one, right? Manchester United were in third, and Chelsea FC, surprisingly enough, were in fourth. Now, I know we did a little bit of a discussion on Chelsea already, but folks, I'm going to mirror that again. Do not, whatever you do, do not bet on Chelsea this year. Look, if you want to be really risky and you want to, you're a big Chelsea fan and you're betting with your heart, which you shouldn't, please don't do that. Do not put any money on Chelsea this year. The kind of shifts and changes that they're going through this close to the season, not good. Definitely not something that you want to put your money on. Honestly, if you're trying to be safe, City, Liverpool, and United, the three teams that are probably going to be the most consistent this coming year. Just if we're looking at overall stability and, where things have been going. In 5th, 6th, and 7th, interestingly enough, actually, we have Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal, and Everton. Now, Arsenal and Tottenham being outside of the top four, definitely, look, Arsenal very much the same as Chelsea. You know, new manager. We don't necessarily know how things are going to flesh themselves out. But more than anything, we have to, I think it's important for those bettors out there to be wary of Arsenal almost as much as Chelsea. I don't necessarily know if I'd steer you over there to place your money. Tottenham, however, I think should be at least probably in the top 4, probably 4th place. It's kind of insane to me to see Chelsea with all of the, you know, they may lose, you know, Chelsea may even lose Willian, you know, so much change, and they're still, you know, picked for 4th. I don't know, folks. I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't bet on Arsenal. I wouldn't bet on Chelsea. I can see my top 4 being City or Liverpool. Change them either way. United in 3rd and Tottenham in 4th. Yeah, but that's we're almost at break. So if you're not already watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk. youtube.com/Fifth Street Sports. We're on Twitter @Fifth Street Sports. Geez, where else are we? iHeart, we're on TuneIn Radio. We're right now coming to you live on Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio. This is Andrew Gieber filling in for Nick and Nick, doing the best I can here. And you're listening to Fifth Street Soccer on Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio.
You're clear.
If you're a pro, the PPG paint you count on every day is now at the Home Depot every day, starting at only $15.97 a gallon. Count on PPG Ultra High for quick turn jobs, PPG Diamond for easy application, and PPG Timeless for guaranteed one-coat hide and coverage. And now, count on the Home Depot to have it all. PPG Pro Grade paint, starting at only $15.97 a gallon, as close as your nearest Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See store for details.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low Cost Airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-75...
Hey, Andrew, I've got Nick on the phone, so he'll hop on this segment, okay?
800-754-4531. That's 800.
Hey, Andrew, you there?
Thanks, Dom. Yeah, we'll have him on in the next segment, most definitely.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you got that.
Your book. Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
The backyard's looking great, Rob.
Thanks, man. I was planning on adding a deck, too. Know any good contractors?
Why don't you just ask Home Advisor?
Home what?
HomeAdvisor.com. You just tell them about your project and they match you with local pros that can do the job.
Nice. Now, how much does it cost?
Oh, HomeAdvisor's totally free to use. Plus, you can read customer reviews, check pricing, and book appointments for free.
What's the website again?
HomeAdvisor.com. Or just download the free HomeAdvisor app.
Welcome back, folks. Fifth Street Soccer Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio Network. We're also on iHeartRadio. We're also on TuneIn. We're coming to you live through the magic of the internet. If you're watching the stream, youtube.com/Fifth Street Sports, facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk. You get it. You hear it every time. We're everywhere. Call in, or actually, we already have somebody calling in through the magic of the radio. I believe it is Mr. Nick Webster. You there, Nick?
Andrew, so good to hear from you. You're smoother than your dad.
I'm trying. It's not it's not easy to do what you guys do. I can say that from experience now. Definitely not easy.
Yeah. So what's going on in the world of soccer today?
Well, today we spoke about tactics, how they've been shifting, and watching tactics, watching how tactics can make betting more or less volatile to a certain degree. Spoke about Alphonso Davies' transfer to Bayern Munich and how I think that's kind of a big deal. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, look, anytime Bayern Munich are involved in a transfer, it's going to be world news, and they are. So you expect them to make big splashy deals. Obviously, a lot of changes going on at Bayern. It's almost like the old guard of the German national team is moving out, and new players come in. So it's going to be interesting to see what Bayern do. But obviously, I was speaking with Mr. Gieber the other day, and Bayern Munich extortionate favourites to win the Bundesliga. I mean, extortionate. You've probably got like close to $1,000 to get. So you can see what the bookies think of Bayern.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely no money there. But I think it definitely says, I think, now, feel free to object, Nick. I definitely think that, Bayern Munich coming in and swooping, spending, not a little amount of money. I mean, for Bayern it might be a little amount of money. But in general, giving the Vancouver Whitecaps $13 million for a 17-year-old. I think that says something about the MLS development. You have any thoughts on that?
Well, look, any time MLS is transferring players for that kind of money, I mean, it's certainly newsworthy in America, and it's certainly newsworthy for a teenager. And what does it say about the MLS? It says that they're improving, they're getting better, they are actually starting to produce products that the best teams in the world want. So I think that's great for MLS in the picture of development, but not so great for the league itself to be losing one of its brightest talents before it's really had a chance to shine. And of course, MLS gets to keep all that money, not the club that develops it.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. I didn't really see it that way. MLS definitely losing an asset, somebody that can help light the league up a little more. But I mean, we don't see transfers like this every day. And coaching youth players, especially, Nick, as I know you're an expert in. I mean, this is something that only comes around once in a while. I mean, this kid must be pretty special, at least, to catch the eye and get really sold for top dollar. We also, a little earlier on, discussed the ICC, and I wanted to ask you, Nick, do you think there's anything we can actually glean from these games? Is there any kind of important information we can take from it? I want to get your take on it before I kind of reiterate what I said.
Well, yeah, the important information you can probably take from it is that you will be $200 to $300 worse off, and you might drink too many beers. There is nothing that you can take from these games, especially, you know, I like the concept of the ICC, and I think in non-World Cup or non-European Championships years, it absolutely makes sense. But this year, in a World Cup year, I mean, we've got Manchester United playing AC Milan tonight, and on the, you know, the possible starting 11 for the United team, I mean, there's going to be nobody because they're all still recovering from the World Cup. So I think the timing of the ICC tour this year, very, very poor, but obviously there's nothing they can do about it. And in the games itself, I mean, it's so hard to gauge. You know, we've got a game tonight at the Rose Bowl, and it's 105 degrees in Pasadena.
Yeah.
You tell me, and you played at a decent level, Andrew. You played at high collegiate level. You tell me how hard you're going to work in a game that means nothing in pre-season in 100-degree weather. How hard are you going to work?
Yeah, probably not that hard. You're definitely not going to, unless you're really trying to impress the manager, you're not going to make any of those lung-busting, 60, 70-yard runs. Definitely not going to be on display.
And if you do make them, you're going to make one or two, and then you're going to be like, oh, I ain't doing this anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's too hard physically.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially in preseason. I mean, it's not necessarily something you're really looking to do. But yeah. Now, bear with me here, Nick. I was thinking there was something we can kind of take away from it. Now, it's not necessarily the most. It's not necessarily the biggest thing to take away from a game in general, but I think it's important to see how these players kind of fit within their system, the kind of chemistry, and seeing how the chemistry is building. Do you think that's a reasonable enough kind of thing to kind of keep an eye on during these games?
Well, if the starting 11 or the starting 16 was on the field, yes, definitely, but I mean, as we just said, it's 14 missing from United, 16 missing from City, 12 missing from Spurs. I mean, you're looking at 42 players that will be having a major impact for their teams, not even on this tour. So, chemistry, I think in some cases, maybe we saw the importance of set pieces over the course of the World Cup. Perhaps it's a good opportunity to try some new things out that we haven't seen before. But even then, I'm kind of skeptical because most smart managers are gonna save those special things for the real games that matter. So I mean, other than working on some fitness and your suntan, I really don't see a great deal of value for the managers in this tournament. But I mean, you never know. I mean, they may have something up their sleeve. They may have something special. We'd have to sit down with the special one himself to find out.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't know what's going on through the in the brains of these top managers. So now that you're kind of up to speed on what we've been talking about a little bit, I was going to talk about we're going to come into a little bit of our Premier League preview. Now, I actually have the odds here on Sky Bet brought up for who to bet on to win outright. And I'll give you the top four here. And I think I don't know, it's not necessarily totally surprising, but I think you might be a little surprised to see one team specifically relatively high up there. We have Manchester City, who are the favorites to win outright, 4-6. Liverpool, just below, 9-2. Manchester United below the Liverpool, 7-1. And then you have Chelsea and Tottenham tied, fourth, so to speak, to win the thing, 12-1. Do you see Chelsea with odds like that?
Well, I'm hearing lots of things about Chelsea, and obviously they've got the new manager Sarri who's come in. He's actually pretty popular with the players now. Should Chelsea keep hold of Eden Hazard and Thibaut Courtois and Willian, then you'd have to say that Chelsea still realistically are contenders because this is the team that won the Premier League not more than a season ago. I mean, you don't go from being bad players, from being championship material to bad players in the course of a season. And if the manager can inspire the players, I can exactly see why the bookies have made them such short prices. And I mean, you got to know this: the bookies are talking to people within clubs. You know, it's not like they're looking at the form books and going, "Well, we think this is going to happen this year and that's going to happen this year." No, they know people, they know trainers, they have contacts with the players, and obviously the players are saying, "You know what? We like this new guy. We want to play for him. We want to make things happen." And because they're doing that, the bookies have reflected that, and that's why their price is certainly a lot shorter than many expected it to be.
Yes, absolutely. I was incredibly surprised to see them as high up the as good odds as they have. I mean, now I know it's early on, and this is definitely a very speculative bet. But do you think right now, just from what you've been hearing and what you've been kind of seeing, do you think it would be a good idea to keep an eye on Chelsea as a potential somebody to bet on for the Premier League title?
Well, absolutely. You know, I mean, definitely keep your eye on the price, and definitely keep your eye on transfer news. The less you hear about Hazard moving to Madrid and Courtois going somewhere, the more I think you can see Chelsea's actual price to win the Premier League start dropping. So, yeah, I think Chelsea's a good chance for, you know, it's even hard to say as an outside bet because they are a team full of outstanding players. But yes, right now Chelsea are an outside bet. But if you keep going, I think, you know, between Chelsea and Liverpool, I think if you fancy a flutter on teams that aren't favourites to win the whole thing, then they're a pretty good bet.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Nick and I are a little bit. We're split a little bit, Nick, on Chelsea and on Chelsea at least. I don't necessarily know if they're worth it. I think too much change is really not a good thing when you're going into a early speculative bet. But I mean, if the manager is taking well to if the players are taking well to the manager, or vice versa, whatever, you know, there's only I mean, if that's going to be might bode very well for Chelsea supporters. There's one more team with a lot of change actually that I wanted to ask you about, Nick. Arsenal. Now their odds to win are 25-1. Definitely, I think most people would agree they're probably not going to win the league this year. But I want to get your thoughts. What do you think about Arsenal right now?
Well, you know, obviously massive transition going on with Arsenal. You know, it's the end of the Arsene Wenger era. Right? It's 22 years of having the same guy in charge. Emery's come over. He did very well at Sevilla under a limited budget. Did pretty poorly at PSG with a massive budget. And, I mean, poorly in terms of that he didn't win the Champions League, and I guess that was his remit, you know. He did win the treble for that French Parisian team. You know, Arsenal have great players. Will they respond to his voice? I'm sure they will. Are they good enough to win the Premiership title? I don't know. They've got a couple of good strikers, a decent keeper. Defensively, they're not bad. You know, Mesut Ozil's no longer going to be playing international football. So you're going to have to say that 25-1, that's definitely worth a flutter.
Yeah. If you want to if you're feeling a little risky, right? Putting down a little bit on them.
Oh, it's definitely a little risky, but 25-1, I don't think you could really knock that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Nick, for coming on today. It's great having you. Nick Webster, everybody. He'll be back on with most likely, well, maybe tomorrow. We'll see if we can get him on again. It's break time. My name's Andrew Gieber. You're listening to Fifth Street Soccer.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from Resort Release, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares. Once you've made that decision to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, Resort Release is offering a Better Business Bureau accredited way to legally get rid of your timeshare, guaranteed. We guaranteed to get rid of your timeshare payments permanently. Even if you've tried another company to get rid of your expensive timeshare, call now and see if we can help you. At Resort Release, you don't pay anything until you're ready. If you're ready to learn how to permanently get rid of your costly timeshare, make this complimentary free call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
If you are age 85 or younger, call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
Welcome back, folks. Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline SB Nation Radio Network. iHeart, TuneIn, youtube.com/Fifth Street Sports. Speaking of YouTube, we just recently put up our final part to our Westerns with Doyle series. We saw our own Nolan Dallek got to sit down with Mr. Doyle Brunson, the poker legend, and talk about Doyle Brunson's favorite Westerns, believe it or not. That is up on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk. We're everywhere, folks. Twitter, @Fifth Street Sports. My name's Andrew Gieber, filling in for Nicholas Gieber. Believe it or not, we are related. I don't know if I do as well of a job as him, but, you know, we're trying to make it work here. Thank you so much if you've been tuning in. I really appreciate it. We here at Fifth Street Sports appreciate it. Hopefully you'll find us on Facebook, YouTube, wherever. Brian Wilson in our Facebook chat. Before we go here, quick note here. Brian Wilson said the sale of Alphonso Davies help legitimizes the league, and I think he said some other stuff, you know, relatively within those bounds too. But you know, I am tempted to agree with him there. I think if more leagues start looking at the youngsters coming out of the MLS, while it may damage the MLS as a, you know, as an actual league, I think it says something. And I think no matter what, it's a step in the right direction. Anyways, I want to thank you folks for tuning in, listening, wherever you are on the internet, on the radio. I want to thank Nick Webster for calling in. It's always great to hear from him, and hopefully we'll hear from him tomorrow. Once again, my name's Andrew Gieber. Thanks for tuning in. This is Fifth Street Soccer on Sports Byline SB Nation Radio, and have a great day, night, wherever you are.
All right, Andrew, you're clear. Great show, man.
USA Radio News.
Today at the White House, President Trump met with the president of the EU to discuss